Assalamualaikum to Dr. Adib. This video will explain to you about how we do dashboard visualization project. We use Google Colab for this project. So first, we import the module that we want to use. So here's are the module that we will use in this project. Next, we import the data, which is historical data causes of deaths around the world from 1990 to 2019 that we get from the Kaggle in CSV file using pandas. So here's are the head of the data. Next, we use this code to know the size of the data. And what we get to know is that the data has 6,120 rows and 34 columns. After that, we use this code to check is there any missing values in our data. And if the output is 0, it means that there is no missing values. But if the output is 1, it has a missing values. So from the output, we can see that there is no missing values in this data frame. Next, in order to find the total annual death for each country over a 20-year period, we extract the causes of that column, which is this one, and then we find the sum, and then we generate a new column named total number of death, which is this one. Wait a minute, which is this one, which is this column, and the output will become like this table. Yeah, so this is the output. This is the column of total number of deaths. Then we use this code for the numeric data only to find the total number of every disease for 204 countries within 20 years. And the output will be like this. Okay, moving on to the next step, which is from the default data frame that we import in the first phase, we make it into a pivot table to find the total number of deaths caused by all disease in a country over 20-year period. Okay, it's kind of confused and you might think that it's the same as previous table, but actually the total is different. And the reason why we use pivot table and find the total number of deaths caused by all disease in a country over 20-year period is because we want to do the choropleth visualization, which is in order to do that, we need a latitude and a longitude of each country. So what we do is we convert this whole of pivot table to a new file, and then we use sublime text compiler to find the latitude and longitude. So here is the code. We use web scraping APIs and request the key from MapQuest developer, which is this one, to get the latitude and longitude for 204 countries for this historical data. So we will run this, and then in order to get the new data, which consists of longitude and latitude, we need to wait until there is a finished output in here. Then the new file will be appear in our file. So let's wait. Okay, it's stated finished already. It means that it will be appear a new file in here. So this is the new file that contain latitude and longitude. So let's open it to check it. So here's are the latitude and longitude for each country. Yeah. So next we're moving on to the Google Colab again. Okay, then we upload the new file that contain latitude and longitude data in this Google Colab, and you can see that in this table there is a latitude and longitude data that we extract using web scraping APIs just now. So the visualization we use for this map is choropleth. In this indicator, it shows that the grand total of death. The red color means that the country has the highest grand total of death, and the indigo color is otherwise. So, to know the details, you can hover your mouse over the maps, and then the data will be displayed. You can also zoom in and also zoom out. So, that's it.
The next visualization we are going to visualize is a bar chart. The data needed for the bar chart is quite simple. We only need two types of data since it only has two axes, which are the y-axis for grand total of death for each country and the x-axis for the country itself. Bar charts are not suitable to visualize too many data So we only extract top 5 countries that have highest total of debt. To extract the data from a data frame, which is TF1, we need to sort the top 5 value by putting this code. And we are going to call only grand total and country column. The outcome from this code will appear below as shown in this video. As for the bar chart, we are going to use Plotly module to create a bar chart. By putting the data that we want to display, which are top 5 countries, which is this data, x-axis, y-axis, color code, hover name, color display, and the title of the bar chart. And then we are ready to print the bar chart. And now we have our bar chart for top 5 countries that have highest total of debt, plus when we hover over the bar, it shows the total debt for each country. Line charts are suitable for time series. Therefore, for the line chart, we are going to see the trend or changes of total debt for each courses. The data needed are year, which is from 1990 to 2019. Courses of debt and grand total of debt. First, what we need to do is from the original data frame, we need to drop out the column of code and country. So we only have the data that we wanted, which is year and the courses. Second, we will sum up the value of that by grouping it by years. So the output we show is the total of that for 20 years for each courses. Later, we will extract new data frame into the Excel and then we transform the data to be like this. Then we will import a new data frame into the Google Colab to form a line chart. By using Plotly, we will put all the information needed into the code such as x-axis, y-axis, color and the title of the line chart. Now we have our line chart that contains the total costs of debt in 20 years. We also can know specific costs of debt by clicking the cost that display on the legend. And the tooltip will be appear when we hover it on the line chart. Next is a pie chart. It's quite familiar with a bar chart since we only want to visualize top 5 causes of death in 20 years. Therefore, the data needed for this visualization are grand total of death and causes of death. As for that, from the data frame, we need to drop everything does not require such as year. And then we need to group it by country/territory. The outcome will sum up all the total of debt for each country. Next, what we want to do is to sum up all the total of debt for each courses from all the country and then we set the index name and rename it as total debt. From this cleaning process, now we can proceed to sort out the data into the 5 courses have highest total of debts. To display the pie chart, we are going to use Plotly module by putting the data that we extract just now, which is top 5, and for the tooltip, we are going to display values is total death and name is disease. After that, we put the title to our pie chart, and then now we have our pie chart for top 5 courses that have highest total of debt, plus when we hover over pie, it shows the total debt for each courses. Lastly, for the trade map visualization, we are going to visualize number of cases in top countries affected by a certain cause. In this example, we are going to visualize on the chronic respiratory disease. Firstly, we need to extract the data we need from the data frame, which is country, year, and chronic respiratory disease. Next, we will using Plotly to visualize the tree map. The code is pulse equal to count 3, year, chronic respiratory disease, and sort value based on the chronic respiratory disease. To update the layout, we can personalize the color based on our preference. The tree map will be like this after we display. And we can see the information when we hover on the tree map.